Yeah!
How you guys doing? Good. Hey, Brian at home. I just wanted to freak out any Brians watching the show. Nice couch. Hey, we have a great show for you guys tonight. Bram Weinstein is here, former Sports Center anchor. He's here. He flew in. As well as the music of the Hurricanes. And you know, there's no one better than Dan Holt and the Dan Holt team. Check out this commercial. When we hired Dan Holt to help us buy a home, he told us we wouldn't have to worry about anything. Anything. Thanks, Dan Holt. For the record, that one was his idea. Hi, Dave.
Hello. Hello, everybody. Hello. Hello at home.
Hey, Dave, should we do things I've noticed now?
Yes!
Let's do it.
These things I've noticed. These things I've noticed, yeah.
Yeah.
These things I've noticed. These things I've noticed, yeah.
Yeah.
Caught me trying to catch a pen. All right, things I've noticed, things I've observed. Here we go. I've noticed that cleaning your ears with a Q-tip is the bubble wrap of hygiene. Just can't stop doing it. So satisfying. I've noticed that another word for butt crack is asphalt. Can we say that? Can we say that? I've noticed that when people say you're the best thing since sliced bread, does that mean there was a point where people were making sandwiches with 2 full loaves of bread? I've noticed that in the days before smartphones, taking a selfie in a public bathroom was less of a fun thing to do and more of a misdemeanor. I've noticed that when politicians thank God, that I imagine he's sometimes like, don't mention it. Don't you mention it. Don't you mention it. And finally, I've noticed that I declined the invite to your soft opening because it sounds more like a medical condition than an event. I ruined it. Things I've noticed.
These things I've noticed. These things I've noticed, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, you know, here at the Mystery Hour, we take our roles as mega celebrities seriously. We want to be role models to the kids out there, and we just want to make a difference. So we decided to film some PSAs, and we want to show those to you now, and hopefully they'll inspire you, you and your children, whomever. So here's the first one. This one is about respecting other people's interests.
talk too much about your fantasy football team, other people will fantasize about murdering you.
Okay. All right, this one is from my wife, Michelle, and it goes out specifically to women.
Hey, ladies. Any garment worn on the lower half of your body where the world can see the inside of your butt cheek is not considered pants.
Okay. This one just wants to state that family is the most important thing we have. Plan a night with your family where no one looks at their phone, so you can hang around with people who have become strangers to you. This one's a nice reminder that life is about making the most of your opportunities.
She sells seashells down by the seashore, but if you walk a few more feet, there's free seashells down in that water.
Now, we live in an age of social media, but it's important to know what the right amount of social media is.
Everyone knows the best time to scroll through your newsfeed is on the toilet, but not everyone knows when is it time to stop. It's when your feet fall asleep.
Now, this one is for dumb people.
If you plant a pine tree and an apple tree next to each other, it doesn't create pineapples.
So it's important to know that we're all the same underneath, no matter what our outward appearance is, and that stereotyping is bad. Have a look.
If you stereotype your friends, you're a jerk.
Subtext. All right, so now it's important to value those who brought us into the world, our parents. Parents are great for unconditional love and for providing you with the password so you can watch their cable online. All right, so this one is it's a great reminder of the importance of our health.
An apple a day keeps the doctor away, but you should still vaccinate your kids.
Now, here's another one for navigating the world of social media again.
Are you or someone you know not getting enough attention? Try this. Get on Facebook and write a status that just says, sigh.
Hey, we want you to remember to buckle down in school, kids.
If a picture's worth 1,000 words, then your college essay is only 5 Snapchats away from being finished.
And finally, I'm not sure what this one is saying. All right, we'll be back with Bram Weinstein. Stick around.
That comedy bit brought to you by Oz Air. Guest booking provided by Gig Salad.
Welcome. Welcome. Hey, we have an awesome guest tonight who flew in. We also have a great guest sponsor that did not fly anywhere, but they probably can. MissouriTrafficTickets.com. If you get a ticket, just click it. All right, our guests, do not clap for that. Clap for the sponsor, not for how I delivered it. Our guest tonight, you knew him for years as a Sports Center anchor. He flew in just to see us. Please give it up for Mr. Bram Weinstein. Welcome.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm great.
Is it weird to be on TV?
Yeah. I haven't worn makeup in a while. Pretty cool. Thanks for that.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
You're welcome. I applied
Got
your
my face back on again. Feel good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't done anything in a while, and like my wife, I told my wife like I got invited to do this before I could even like get out where I was going or what I was doing. She was driving me as fast as possible to the airport just to get out of the house. Yeah.
Please, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Is it Missouri?
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. It was basically like, where are you? Once I got there, she didn't care where I was going. She just wanted me out,
right.
you know.
We got
Stop
you.
doing sports shows to me. You know,
Yeah, so you're in the living room and you're analyzing things.
Yeah, talk to the cat sometimes. You know,
Yeah.
I tell her when I think of LeBron James and Tom Brady, you know.
Your cats are named LeBron James and Tom Brady?
They should be.
Yeah.
They should be.
So you just left fairly recently.
Yeah.
And you had been there for how long?
7 years.
7 years.
Yeah.
And before that, you had done TV and radio. Where had
Yeah.
you done that?
Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
I covered the Washington Redskins for 8 years.
Okay.
And I had a radio show there.
Yeah.
And then I somehow was being a guest on all these different shows around the country.
Because you were like a Redskins expert.
Yeah, I became like, I had like a doctorate on the Redskins. Like I knew everything about them. So whenever anything would happen with them, they'd have me on. And then I guess I got on ESPN's radar. And next thing you know, I was hosting television shows, which I actually hadn't done in like 10 years. So I was like hosting SportsCenter, but hadn't been on TV in that capacity in like a decade.
So
I was faking it pretty good.
Yeah. I understand that.
Yeah.
But that's fascinating to me that SportsCenter, ESPN, like the big name, it seems like they could get anybody, and they saw something in you, even though you hadn't had recent TV experience.
Yeah, they were right. Yeah.
They were right. But I imagine you were like, you guys are sure?
Yeah, no, I mean, like, I was on the radio mainly, and I was a guest,
Yeah.
Not on a couch like this, or
Right.
Curtains Theater, all that stuff, but I was like a guest. And so I remember going up there, and I'm like, what are they trying to hire me for? Because what they were asking me to do was not something that I had done, ever.
Yeah.
And all this stuff is different. Like, like doing what you're doing right now, or doing stand-up, or they're actually different things, right?
Sure.
So I didn't think they'd actually hire me to do that, and then they did, and then, you're like, okay.
What was that moment like when they called you to say you were hired?
That was strange. That was strange.
Yeah.
Well, nobody believed it. It was like one of those things where it was like, oh, I'm going up to interview for a job that I'll never get.
Right.
And then I got it, and then you're like, oh, all right. I guess I gotta move to Hartford. So we did.
Yeah.
It was fun.
And so, then were you freaked out when you started doing it?
No. It actually was, it turned out to be quite easy, because when you're on the radio for 3 hours a day, then they ask you to do television, you're talking for such a shorter amount of time that you just feel like you haven't been heard.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
I have so much more to say about this if you would just let me.
Please
Yeah.
let me.
And then certain topics come up and you wish you could talk about it less. Like Tom Brady's balls. It's like, enough. Like, all right, 10 months of that. Like, okay, enough. We've
get it.
exhausted that. I now know what the ideal gas law is.
Right.
Well, actually, I don't, but I've been told about it a number of times. Right?
Enough times, yeah.
Yeah.
So I imagine that is, kind of almost like someone who works at a radio station that works the top 40 station or something like that, where they're like, get tired of the song immediately. That I imagine kind of in the same way, they have stories they get obsessed with, and you're like, I guess.
Yeah, they're like Uptown Funk again. Like that was popular 8 months ago, and then we have the same thing. It's like, Tim Tebow's a backup. Can we get over it? And we just stop talking about that.
And were you a big sports fan growing up?
Yeah, huge. I was like the kid who sat on TV and pretended I was calling the games.
Is that right?
Yeah.
And so then to get the call to the big leagues.
Yeah. It was weird. Yeah. It was pretty surreal. Well, it was, because I wasn't even trying to go there. That was my agent said, do you want to go interview with them? I wasn't trying to go there. I liked where I lived. Just like what you're doing here.
Right.
You know, like you like where you are.
Right.
You could do this anywhere, but you like where you are. I was the same thing. I liked where I lived. I wasn't trying to go there, but once they offered that, you have to take it. And I was happy to do it, and it was fun. Like, do you people know what a gift this is that's going on here? This is amazing. What's happening in this? Like, this is like. When you invited me, I'm like, I have to go see this. I have to see it. Because it is so uniquely strange that this is happening here. Yes. It's so unusual. Who does this? They probably do the Nutcracker in here, and they have this show that they do with you once a month. It's amazing. You're doing art for them. It's a gift. I mean, really, it's amazing what you're doing for them. Yeah,
Thank you.
And I'm jealous of this. Like, I was in a position, a lot of people, you know, big sports fans are like jealous of what I did.
Right.
And it was a great job to have. Like, well, I'm jealous of this. Like, you have curtains and a rabble-rousing sidekick with an incredible beard. I never had anything like that, you know? I never had that. You know, with this really cool microphone that probably doesn't work, but it's cool to look at, you know, all that stuff.
You're very astute. I will say that, I mean, you can look at it that way, that we're giving a gift or something. Or I would, if there wasn't anyone here, I'd just be a crazy person. Yeah. Who's just talking, inviting people. I'd say, hey, Bram, do you want to come to my house? And your wife would say, yeah, go. And you'd say, no.
Well, that's kind of what I'm doing now.
Right.
So, so if you want to come hang out and, you know, talk about the NCAA tournament, I'm available. I mean, it's just going to be me and you.
Is that a real offer?
Yeah, come on.
I want to come watch the tournament at your house.
Please.
And you can just tell me things that I haven't
tell you
thought
things about it. Yeah, just tell you things about it. Like explain the merits of Marist versus Louisville in the NCAA tournament.
Exactly.
Yeah. Why you should know them. Yes.
So one thing I find interesting then is that, like, as we're promoting the show and promoting that you're going to be on and that sort of thing, it's like I grew up in very much a sports family, and so for the people that know, it's like, oh my gosh, Bram Weinstein from SportsCenter. And then people that don't know SportsCenter are like, sports?
Yeah.
So you have a very niche but very high level celebrity.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, a lot of guys in baseball outfits like me. A lot. You know, it's an interesting celebrity. You get into like something like that, and you're like, well, I'm on TV and I've got this high-level job, and you find out that your fans are not the people that you're hoping to appeal to all the time. You know? It's like, oh, I have to talk to you about that home run that occurred the other day. But they're all wonderful.
Right, and they're probably excited about you because of the thing that you're talking about.
Yeah,
and so they're like, let's both talk about that thing.
Let's just both talk about that.
Yeah.
And, you know, I have my teams, just like, you know, my teams, I can talk about them all day. I just don't care that much about their teams. But it's hard to, you know.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure you get a lot of people want to talk to you about comedy, right?
And I hate it.
Right, you're right. Yeah, like, certain comedians are like,
yeah.
You know.
No, but yeah, and you're kind of expected to have the encyclopedia, like, breadth of knowledge.
Oh, they'll call you out so quick.
Yeah.
That's like the fastest thing, you know. Like if you have some stat wrong about their team, they're like, fraud, you know, and like tweeting that and pictures of you and like, you don't know anything. And it's like why would I? Why would I know who the second string running back of the Chargers is that never plays? And why do you care that I don't know that? Why do you care?
Yes, people are very passionate about the thing that you know about.
That's right.
Well, I passionately thank you for coming here.
Yes.
That's all the time we got. Please give it up for Bram Weinstein. We'll be right back.
Guest travel and accommodations provided by Hotel Vandervoort. Musical guests brought to you by Bryan Properties.
Hey, we have a great band tonight. They don't call themselves this. I call them a super group of some of my favorite musicians. Please give it up for the Hurricanes.
Susanna, I just need you to know that I don't love you. If that hurts, well, at least you're feeling something. That's more than I expected. I'll be home on Tuesday. There's leftover dinner in the kitchen. There's coffee and eggs for in the morning. You don't have to stick around though. We took our time. I feel a little undone now. I feel a little bit older. I feel a little unwound. We got a story to tell. It goes just like cancer, slow and determined, to in the end let us down. Dear Susanna, if there's someone you want to go talk to, it's alright, we all need someone to talk to. You can tell them I'm the bad guy. We took our time. I feel a little undone now. I feel a little bit older. I feel a little unwound. We've got a story to tell. It goes just like cancer, slow and determined, to in the end let us down. We gave it a try. I feel a little less helpless. I feel a little bit restless. I feel a little bit loud. This story we'll tell, it ends like it started, with both of us lonely, waiting for love to come round. Dear Susanna, I just need you to know that I don't love you.
So good. That was you did.
Thanks for having us.
So good. So good. That's our show, everybody. Just so you know, 10% of our box office proceeds tonight go to Bikers Against Child Abuse. We will see you next week. Thanks for watching.
Big Whiskey's the official caterer of the Mystery Hour.